You've been outsourcing your reality. It's time to take it back. There's a silent architect behind every twist of your life. It's not fate, it's not chance, it's not even luck. It's your attention. Not the passive kind, not the distracted, half-scrolled, background noise kind. The focused kind. The kind that bends light and carves probability. The kind ancient mystics mastered in silence, and modern physicists chase with billion-dollar colliders. You are not here to observe life. You are here to shape it. Now let's return to the blueprint. Section 1. The forgotten science of focus. Where energy goes, reality grows. In the beginner's mind, there are many possibilities. In the expert's, few. Shunryu Suzuki. Before science had a name for it, there was vision. Long before we split the atom, built satellites, or named quantum mechanics, something remarkable was happening in the high mountains of the East. In the hush of Himalayan monasteries, monks weren't just praying. They were prototyping reality. In sun-baked ashrams, yogis weren't meditating to escape life. They were rewriting it. They weren't waiting for miracles. They were engineering them. Not with machines, with mind. They understood something Western science has only recently begun to confirm. The world is not solid, it's responsive. And the tool that shapes it? Focused, intentional, emotionally resonant attention. This wasn't mysticism. It was proto-physics disguised as prayer. Attention isn't passive. It's the operating system of reality. Let's rewire your understanding. You've been taught attention is what you give, but what if it's actually what you build with? Every glance, every thought, every moment of emotional resonance. It's not just perception, it's construction. Imagine a stream of electricity running through your life. Wherever you point your focus, that's where the current flows. And where energy flows, matter, experience, opportunity, relationship, wealth, health takes shape. This is more than metaphor. This is physics. And it's ancient. The Buddhists knew it. The Upanishads whispered it. Now neuroscience can scan it. Let that settle in. You are the architect of your experience, not the tenant. The invisible rudder. How focus steers reality. Picture a vast ocean of potential outcomes, countless parallel moments waiting to be selected like songs in a playlist. Now imagine your attention as the rudder of a ship. Wherever you turn it, your life follows. Not instantly, not magically, but precisely and predictably, like gravity. Stay locked on scarcity, you attract proof of it. Fixate on anxiety, you magnetize chaos. Anchor to possibility, you start summoning it. This isn't positive thinking. This is neuroplasticity, quantum resonance, and energetic alignment, working together like a silent orchestra. And it all begins with one quiet choice. Where 1.4. Why most people feel stuck and what they're missing. There's a reason life can feel like deja vu and repeat. Same arguments, same outcomes, same limitations. You're not broken. You're just broadcasting on an old frequency. And that frequency is shaped by unexamined focus loops, often inherited, often unconscious. Think of your energy like water and your attention like the channel it flows through. If that channel is blocked by fear, by trauma, by unhealed stories, the energy circles back over and over. It's not karma, it's repetition, and repetition is not destiny. It's a setting, one you can reconfigure. But only when you see attention for what it really is. Not just awareness, but intention in motion. 1.5. The quantum mechanics of your mind. Here's where science catches up to spirit. In quantum physics, there's a principle known as the observer effect. The very act of observing a particle changes its behavior. Let that sink in. Reality literally reorganizes itself under the gaze of focused attention. Your thoughts aren't empty, they're directional. They emit frequency. They influence probability. In other words, the universe isn't responding to your words. It's responding to your emotionalized attention. It's not what you say, it's what you believe while you're feeling it. 1.6. Energy, not created, not destroyed, just directed. Remember what Einstein taught us. Energy can't be created or destroyed. It only changes form. That's exactly what's happening every time you focus. You're not generating energy. You're redirecting it from one state to another, from thought into form. Want different results in your life? You don't need more energy. You need better direction. This isn't about grinding harder. It's about aligning smarter. You've been wasting volts on worry. Let's channel it into vision instead. 1.7. The myth of the magic manifester. There's a lot of noise out there. Just visualize it and it'll come. Just be positive. Just manifest. But here's the truth. Manifestation isn't a wish. It's a concentration of aligned energy over time. It's not about thinking something once. It's about integrating it into the emotional texture of your day. Real transformation begins when your dominant vibration changes. Not just your hopes, not just your words, your baseline frequency. And that frequency is determined not by what you say out loud, but by where your attention lives in silence. 1.8. You can't hack what you don't own. We live in a world engineered to hijack your attention. Algorithms, notifications, endless scrolls. Your focus has been turned into a product, traded, sold, manipulated. The cost? A scattered mind, a fragmented energy field, and a reality you didn't consent to. If you don't reclaim your focus, you're building someone else's dream, not yours. That's why awareness isn't luxury, it's survival. And mastery is your birthright. 1.9. This isn't woo, it's weaponry. Let's be clear. Focus isn't just some soft skill for yogis. It's battle-tested psychological tech. Elite athletes, military strategists, Fortune 500 CEOs. They all know this. Control your attention and you control outcomes. Steve Jobs called it the ability to say no. But what he meant was more profound. The ability to ruthlessly protect the signal from the noise. You have that ability. You've just forgotten how to use it. Let's remember. 1.10. The shift begins. So now we stand at a threshold. You can return to autopilot. Let the news, the algorithm, your fears, and your past keep shaping the same future. Or you can stop, breathe, and make the first conscious shift. Choose where your energy goes next, because that's not just where your day will go. That's where your life will go, and life is listening. Section 2. Quantum currents and the emotional engine. How your emotions shape frequency, and frequency shapes everything. The future enters into us in order to transform itself in us, long before it happens. Rainer Maria Rilke. 2.1. Your emotions are not reactions, they're broadcasts. Let's get something straight. Emotions aren't just feelings. They're frequencies, vibrational signatures, real-time status updates of your internal operating system. When you feel joy, you're not just happy, you're aligned. When you feel fear, you're not just scared. You're vibrating on a low frequency, broadcasting distortion. Every single emotion you experience is an energetic message you're sending out. And like any good network, the universe sends something back. Not because it rewards or punishes, but because it reflects. That's not poetic fluff. That's quantum logic. Your attention plus emotional resonance equals your frequency. And frequency is what reality uses to decide how to respond. 2.2. The science of vibration, the language of energy. All matter is vibration. All vibration is information. And emotion is the carrier wave of that information. Let's break it down. Every thought you think sends out a subtle electrical signal. Every emotion you feel charges that signal with magnetic energy. That combination, thought plus feeling, becomes an electromagnetic field. In other words, your mind informs reality, but your emotion transmits it. You're not just thinking into the void, you're coding reality. Like a Wi-Fi signal, your emotional state determines the bandwidth and strength of what comes back. No signal, no synchronicity, distorted signal, distorted outcomes, clear, high-frequency signal. Now we're talking resonance. 2.3. Why trauma keeps you in a loop. Let's talk about the real villain, stuck energy. When something painful happens and you don't process it, that emotion doesn't disappear. It crystallizes. It creates a frequency echo, a looping pattern that whispers the same story over and over. You're not safe. You're not worthy. This always happens to you. You stop noticing it, but your subconscious doesn't, and neither does your energetic field. Like background music in a horror film, that loop becomes the score of your life, and it draws characters and scenes to match. This is why healing isn't optional. It's not just about feeling better. It's about tuning your broadcast signal to stop rerunning the same trauma-coded reality. 2.4. Your emotional body is your operating system. You've been taught that your mind is the pilot. It's not. Your emotional body is the real control tower. Think of your emotions like an internal compass. Every negative feeling is a feedback signal. This is not aligned. Every positive emotion, a green light. You're on track. But most of us were never taught how to read that compass. We suppress, we distract, we override. And in doing so, we short-circuit our most powerful guidance system. The truth? Your emotional body is smarter than you think. And if you start listening, it will take you to places your logic never could. 2.5. Emotional resonance. Is the key to manifestation. You've heard it before. Ask, believe, receive. But most people skip the middle part. They forget to believe emotionally. Belief isn't words. Belief is vibrational familiarity. If your dream life feels foreign, like it belongs to someone else, you can't access it, no matter how many affirmations you tape to your mirror. Why? Because your emotional body doesn't recognize it as safe, and the subconscious always chooses safety over desire. The fix? Make the desired reality emotionally familiar. Practice feeling safe in success. Rehearse the energy of abundance. Dwell in the mood of freedom before it arrives. This is not faking it. This is tuning the dial before the music plays. 2.6. The hidden influence of collective emotion. You are not just an individual mind. You're a node in a vast network. Social media, the news, cultural trauma. These aren't just content. They're emotional influencers. And every time you emotionally engage with them, they tune your frequency. Not consciously, energetically. Doom scroll enough fear and guess what? You're vibrating in scarcity, even if your bank account says otherwise. Watch enough chaos and guess what? You attract chaos, even if your life seems stable on the surface. This isn't about going off grid. It's about managing your emotional inputs as fiercely as you manage your time or money. Your energy is your greatest currency. Stop spending it on signals that bankrupt your soul. 2.7. Love and hate. The same attention, different polarity. Here's something that will blow your mind. Hate is not the opposite of love. Indifference is. Both love and hate involve intense focus and high emotional charge. Both send powerful signals into the field. So whether you're passionately for something or passionately against something, your energy is still being spent. And the universe doesn't understand morality. It understands frequency. You're not punished for hating. You're matched with experiences that carry the same vibrational charge. So the real power lies in neutrality, not apathy, but spaciousness. The ability to observe without being consumed. That's the ultimate freedom. The kind the mystics called non-attachment. Not from detachment, but from energetic mastery. 2.8. You're not a victim of emotion. You're its designer. One of the biggest lies ever sold is that emotions happen to you, that they rise like weather, unpredictable and out of control. Not true. Yes, emotion is spontaneous, but emotional habits are programmable. You train your brain to panic at failure. You can retrain it to stay curious instead. You associated love with danger. You can rewire it to feel like safety. This isn't wishful thinking. This is neural engineering. Your nervous system isn't static, it's elastic. And with the right inputs, it updates. Like any operating system, it just needs a restart and better code. 2.9. Micro shifts create macro change. You don't need to become enlightened by Friday. You don't need to fix everything at once. The key is direction, not perfection. One breath of gratitude, one moment of pause before reaction, one choice to notice instead of judge. These are micro adjustments, tiny realignments of your inner compass. But like a plane shifting by just 1 degree, they lead to wildly different destinations. Because attention is momentum, and momentum is what moves the needle. So forget quantum leaps. Focus on quantum nudges. 2.10. Your frequency is the audition. Life is the callback. You don't get what you want. You get what you rehearse, energetically, emotionally, repeatedly. The future doesn't arrive like a guest. It responds like an algorithm. It looks for patterns. It mirrors back your baseline. So ask yourself, what emotional state am I rehearsing daily? What vibration am I normalizing? What storyline am I feeding with my feelings? Because that's what the universe is taking notes on. Not your wish list, your vibrational signature. If you want to change the story, you have to change the signal. Section 3. The spectrum of attention. Polarity, neutrality, and the art of seeing what really is. The moment you make the two one, then you will enter the kingdom. Gospel of Thomas 3.1. Welcome to the spectrum. Attention is not binary. It's not a spotlight that's either on or off. It's a spectrum, a continuum, a shape-shifting lens. And how you use it, consciously or reactively, determines the quality of your life. At one end of the spectrum lies polarized attention, reactive, charged, dualistic. At the other end is neutral attention, calm, observational, creative. Both are powerful. One drains, the other builds. You've been using them your whole life. You just haven't been aware of it until now. 3.2. Polarity, the default setting of the human mind. Let's begin where most people live. Polarity. You know it well. It's the I love it, I hate it reflex, the good or bad, win or fail, right or wrong filter through which we evaluate everything. It feels natural, even necessary. But here's the problem. Polarity is a survival mechanism. It's built for threat detection, not creative evolution. It simplifies the complex into digestible chunks. Is this safe or dangerous? Friend or foe? Useful in a jungle? Disastrous in a modern world where nuance is everything? Polarity is like looking at life through a cracked lens. Sharp, reactive, distorted. And worst of all, it traps you inside the illusion of either or. 3.3. The coin trick. Two sides, one truth. Here's the secret no one teaches you in school. Every problem already contains its solution. Every pain already holds the seed of its healing. Every desire already implies its fulfillment. They are not opposites. They are endpoints of the same spectrum. Imagine a coin. One side says problem. The other says solution. Most people stare endlessly at the problem, obsessing over the scratches, the color, the weight. But you flip the coin. Same situation. Different focus, different frequency, different outcome. Because here's the law. What you focus on, you feed. Focus on the problem, you expand it. Focus on the solution, you begin to summon it. It's not denial, it's deliberate selection. It's refusing to pour energy into the version of reality you no longer want. 3.4. Why polarized attention is so addictive. Let's be honest, drama feels good. Emotionally charged focus has an intensity that feels alive. It's why arguments feel important, why catastrophizing feels like control, why social media outrage feels like engagement. Polarized attention gives us false certainty in an uncertain world, but it also costs us everything: perspective, emotional regulation, energetic efficiency. When you're locked into polarity, you become a puppet of external triggers. Your attention is no longer yours. It's dictated by what offends you, pleases you, scares you, or flatters you. And that means your energy is being managed by the outside world. Not acceptable, not anymore. 3.5. Neutral attention, the state of the master. Now let's enter the upper octave of awareness, neutral attention. This is not indifference. This is not apathy. This is not passivity. Neutral attention is pure awareness, unfiltered, undistorted, unentangled. It's the ability to see reality without merging with it, to hold presence without projecting meaning, to witness and experience without losing yourself inside the emotional storm of it. It is the essence of mindfulness, the heart of Zen, the power behind the phrase, "be still and know." Neutral attention is not cold. It's clear. It's not detached. It's centered. And it's the state from which all deliberate creation begins. 3.6. The lake and the stone. Here's a visual you'll remember. Imagine your awareness as a still, pristine lake. Now drop a stone into it, an event, a comment, a setback. Polarized attention reacts to the ripples. Why did this happen? What does this mean about me? Who's to blame? Neutral attention, however, stays as the lake itself, still, present, observing. Noticing the ripples but not becoming them. It is from this space that you access your creative authority. Because when you're not reactive, you're responsive. And response is power. 3.7. The gift of impartial seeing. When you learn to apply neutral attention, everything changes. Emotions lose their grip. Patterns begin to dissolve. You create space between stimulus and response. That space? That's where your power lives. That's where quantum change occurs. Impartial seeing doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you start choosing what deserves your energy. You stop fighting every thought. You stop arguing with every trigger. You stop turning every challenge into an identity. You simply notice. You simply breathe. You simply allow. And in that sacred simplicity, the architecture of your life begins to shift. 3.8. From judgment to observation. The core reframe. Let's go deeper. Most of your suffering doesn't come from events. It comes from the labels you assign to them. This is a failure. This is unfair. This proves I'm not enough. But neutral attention removes the label. It looks at the moment not as bad or good, but as data, as information, as experience. And once it's just experience, it can move. It can evolve. It can release. This is the alchemy of awareness. Whatever you observe without judgment begins to dissolve. And what remains is clarity, and clarity breeds freedom. 3.9. Polarity traps you. Neutrality transcends you. Let's put it plainly. Polarized attention traps you in cycles, the same arguments, the same partners, the same emotional weather, because polarity demands repetition, and repetition creates identity, and identity creates reality. Neutral attention breaks that loop, because it refuses to attach meaning where none is needed. And by doing so, it reclaims the energy that judgment used to steal. That energy, it becomes creation fuel. Now, instead of reacting to what is, you begin designing what could be. 3.10. The highest frequency, conscious selection. The highest form of attention isn't neutral, it's deliberate. Neutral attention clears the static. But what you do next, what you choose to focus on, is the moment that changes everything. Because the final step is not just to observe reality, it's to select it. You're not just a witness, you're a tuner, a programmer, a composer. Once you learn to silence the noise, you begin broadcasting with intention. That's the creative state. That's where imagination meets resonance. That's where timelines shift. And it all begins the moment you say, I see clearly. Now I choose. Section 4. Hijacked by noise, reclaiming your inner operating system in a world built to distract you. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Carl Jung. 4.1. The theft you didn't see coming. If someone tried to steal your phone, you'd stop them. If someone took your money, you'd call the police. But every day, quietly and visibly, something more precious is taken from you. Your attention. And most of the time you give it away willingly, not because you're careless, but because the world has been engineered to take it. Attention is the new oil. It's the commodity of the century. And if you're not actively protecting it, someone is actively profiting from it. This isn't paranoia, it's math. 4.2. The attention economy is not neutral. Let's get something straight. Distraction is not accidental, it's industrial. Tech companies don't just want your time. They want your focus, your engagement, your emotional data. Because that's what sells. Every ping, every notification, every red dot is a precision-engineered trigger. Each one designed to override your consciousness and pull you into the vortex. The result? Your nervous system is constantly jacked into a loop. Dopamine spike, anxiety hit, scroll, repeat. And in that loop, your power bleeds away. Your vision fragments. Your life is no longer yours. It's being shaped by what you react to, not what you intend. 4.3. Algorithms don't understand growth, only triggers. Here's the secret no platform will tell you. The algorithm is not your friend. It doesn't show you what you need. It shows you what keeps you on the app. Fear works, controversy works, gossip works, shame works. So that's what you get. And because your attention is your energy, and energy shapes your reality. This content doesn't just waste your time, it reprograms your frequency. You begin to vibrate at the level of fear, anger, distrust. And then you wonder why your life starts to reflect those themes. This is not accidental, it's systemic. 4.4. The feedback loop from hell. Let's zoom out. Here's how the trap works. You watch something anxiety-inducing. Your nervous system goes into alert. You start looking for more danger to confirm the feeling. The algorithm detects your interest and feeds you more of the same. Your emotional body believes this is reality. Your thoughts, expectations, and experiences begin to match that frequency. You are no longer living from your desires. You are living from your triggers. That's not awareness. That's programming. And it's time to uninstall it. 4.5. The unconscious shaping of self-image. It goes deeper. Every time you compare yourself to a curated post, every time you measure your worth by metrics, every time you consume narratives about not enough, you're installing beliefs, not consciously, energetically. The result? A distorted self-image, a fragmented identity, a vibrational field filled with noise and static. This isn't vanity. This is energetic hygiene. Your mind is your interface. Your identity is your OS. And right now, both are cluttered with malware. 4.6. Trauma. The original program that still runs the show. Not all hijackers are external. Some of the most powerful are internal and invisible. Unresolved childhood wounds, old relationship patterns, beliefs you inherited when you were too young to question. These form the default scripts of your life, and they are deeply efficient at pulling your attention into loops. I always get abandoned. I can't trust anyone. Success isn't safe. Love equals pain. These aren't just stories. They're energetic grooves. And every time you focus on them, you reinforce them. Until you override them, they will continue to shape your reality on autopilot. 4.7. The first step. Audit your inputs. You don't need to delete your apps. You need to take back your interface. Start by auditing what you consume. What do you read when you wake up? What fills your feed? Who do you follow? What soundtrack is looping through your mind? You can't control the entire world, but you can control your inputs. And that's where power begins, because every input becomes an imprint, and every imprint becomes a blueprint, and every blueprint becomes your life. So ask yourself, is what you're consuming worth becoming? 4.8. Create an attention firewall. You protect your Wi-Fi with a password. Why not your consciousness? Here's how to build your internal firewall. Silence notifications. Unfollow accounts that drain you. Curate your digital diet set. No info hours. Practice 5-minute attention. Fast journal before you scroll. Ask, is this feeding my vision or fragmenting it? This isn't about perfection. It's about protection. Every minute you reclaim from noise is a minute you reinvest into clarity, into creation, into self-respect. 4.9. Reclaiming the inner operating system. Now that you've cleared some bandwidth, it's time to reboot the system. Step 1. Go still. Silence is not empty. It's full of answers. Step 2. Tune in. Ask your body, what do I need to feel safe enough to focus? Then give it that. Step 3. Set intention. Before you open your laptop, pick up your phone, or even get out of bed, decide, what am I choosing to build today? Step 4. Protect the frame. Bookend your day with clarity. Morning, gratitude, breath, or vision journaling. Evening, audit, reflect, reset. You don't need a 4-hour ritual. You need a repeatable protocol that honors your power. 4.10. The heroes return to the signal. You've done something few people dare to do. You've unplugged, you've defragged your mind, you've faced the hijackers, you've reclaimed the console. This isn't small, this is revolutionary. You've moved from being a node in someone else's algorithm to being the author of your own. And now with the noise quieted and the signal cleared, you can return to what matters. Inner stillness, aligned attention, creative frequency, designed life. You're not just watching your story, you're writing it, and this is just the beginning. Section 5, Beyond Reaction, the Creative Power of Conscious Focus. Imagination is everything. It is the preview of life's coming attractions. Albert Einstein. 5.1, The Shift from Observer to Architect. You've spent your life reacting to people, to systems, to outcomes, to fear. That ends now. Because here's the truth most never realize. You were never just a witness to your life. You were the interface designer, the signal sender, the silent director of scenes, stories, and timelines. You didn't just see life unfold. You coded it, moment by moment, through the subtle combination of what you chose to focus on and how you chose to feel. And now you remember. You are not a passive receiver of reality. You are its architect. 5.2, Imagination isn't child's play. It's a command center. Let's debunk the biggest myth right now. Imagination is not escapism. It's instruction. What you imagine with emotional clarity becomes a preview file, a prototype, a vibrational draft submitted to the quantum server for processing. This is not abstract. This is creative mechanics. Imagination sets the coordinates. Attention directs the energy. Emotion provides the charge. Repetition stabilizes the frequency. The result? Reality reorganizes. That's not magic. That's resonance. And it's your default factory setting. 5.3, Design is decision. Every thought matters. Imagine every thought you have as a line of code. Every emotion as a color swatch. Every focus as a frame in your personal interface. That means every time you say, I'm stuck, I never win. This always happens to me. You're not just expressing a thought. You're issuing a command. You're assigning your energy a destination. You're drafting a design spec for tomorrow's experience. Design is not some abstract concept. It is decision made visible. So start designing like you mean it. 5.4, Your focus is the blueprint. Your frequency is the builder. The reality you experience is a construction site. Focus is the blueprint. Frequency is the builder. Belief is the engineer. Emotion is the power source. If any of those are misaligned, the structure doesn't hold. The design collapses into doubt, delay, dysfunction. But when they're aligned, when you feel it, believe it, focus on it, and repeat it, you don't just manifest. You receive construction updates in real time, synchronicities, opportunities, ideas, alignments, not coincidences, confirmations. 5.5, Stop reacting, start composing. Most people spend their days responding to what is, to emails, to headlines, to moods, to algorithmi, to trauma. But response is reactive, and creativity is proactive. To create, you must step off the battlefield, into the studio, into the lab, into the composer's seat. Ask yourself, what do I want to feel today? What story am I telling with my focus? What inner movie am I replaying, and do I want a sequel? Every morning, every moment, every breath, you get to score your own soundtrack, and the world will start to dance to your rhythm. 5.6, Visualization is not a trick. It's a transmission. People treat visualization like it's a cute exercise. Close your eyes, picture a beach house. Feel good. Done. But that's surface level. True visualization is visceral rehearsal. You don't just see it, you feel it. You embody it. You become vibrationally fluent in the experience of it. Why does this matter? Because the subconscious doesn't know the difference between memory and vision. To it, a vividly imagined experience is real. And if it's real internally, your energetic field will prepare for its arrival externally. That's the true art of manifestation, not wishing. Embodying. 5.7, Coherence is creation. Aligning heart, mind, and intention. Let's talk about coherence. It's not a buzzword. It's the secret operating system of reality design. Coherence is what happens when your thoughts, emotions, and energy are singing the same note. You want abundance, thought. You feel grateful for what's coming, emotion. You act from worthiness, not lack, intention. This creates vibrational harmony, and reality responds with precision. But most people are incoherent. They visualize success but vibrate in fear. They affirm joy but live in guilt. They dream big but act small. Incoherence leads to mixed signals, and mixed signals lead to stalled creation. Your job is not to fake coherence. Your job is to clean the distortion until you naturally arrive there. 5.8. Resistance is the real culprit, and it's negotiable. Why don't most people create the life they want? Because underneath their vision lies resistance. Old code, unhealed wounds, baggage wrapped in logic. The brain says, we want expansion. The body says, expansion is unsafe. And guess who wins? The body. Every time. Because it's the hardware. It carries the charge. So if you want a new experience, you must negotiate with your resistance, not bulldoze it. That means observing fear without becoming it, validating old patterns without obeying them, choosing safety in new emotions, joy, peace, success, until the nervous system adapts. You don't force evolution, you create space for it. 5.9. The practice of inner broadcasting. You've heard enough theory. Let's talk application. Morning protocol. Breathe deep. 10 conscious breaths. Tune in. What do I want to feel today? Visualize. What does my ideal day feel like? Speak one affirmation that feels true, not just pretty. Seal. I broadcast this frequency today. I am the signal. Throughout the day, when triggered, pause. When confused, breathe. When inspired, act. Evening audit. What did I focus on today? Did it align with what I'm building? What needs a micro adjustment tomorrow? This is not busy work. This is frequency management, and frequency is destiny. 5.10. You are the signal. You are the source. You made it. Through distraction, through noise, through inherited code and cultural static. And now you know the truth. You don't chase alignment. You generate it. You don't seek signs. You broadcast them. You don't ask for permission. You grant it through focus. This is not the end. This is ignition. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are now composing it frame by frame with the precision of your attention and the elegance of your frequency. The helm is in your hand. The course is yours to set. Now ask yourself with gravity and joy, where will I place my attention next? Because where you place your attention is where you place your energy. And where you place your energy is where you place your life. You are the architect. Design accordingly.